Okay, so you're very welcome, Positive Lifers. Great to have you here today. I am here with a great guest. We're going to have a chat about his upcoming visit to Ireland, and I'm just noticing that Lomi Lomi, Aloha, all the Hawaiian wisdom is just flying into Ireland. As I've interviewed a chap last week called Brandon Foster, he's coming as well. We have a lady here called Louise Clue who runs the centre, Aloha House in County Kerry. And there's definitely a synergy between Ireland and Hawaii. There's something going on there, and it's coming from ancient wisdom, I feel, But you're very welcome. Delighted you can join us this morning. If you see this video live or on the replay, please reshare it with as many people as you can. And we're going to have a chat with Wayne Powell. And Wayne has been involved in the whole Aloha wisdom. As he said just a minute ago, he met his first kahuna in 1984. So Wayne, you're very, very welcome. Delighted to have you here today.
Thank you, Paul. It's a pleasure to be here.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant. So I suppose let's start with how this world kind of invited you into it, the whole world of Aloha. What happened?
Well, it really kicked in bankruptcy and divorce with 3 children.
That'll do it for you.
Man, I needed a lifesaver big time. Yeah, it was 84, as you said, when I sat in a lecture in the Hanalei Bay Resort, which is on the North Shore of Kauai. And I listened to what is called Huna, otherwise known as The Secrets. And I tell you, Paul, the secret is out now. It's coming from every direction. The Hawaiians had no hold on, that particular enlightenment piece. It seems that their variety of it is the cleanest that I could find, because I've studied so many. I've studied all the major religions and spiritual paths in the world. And Huna, or Kahuna, the secrets, it's the cleanest one. It has no dogma, no doctrine. It's a science of life and how energy interacts with itself to create our experience.
That's very well described. What do you see as the link between Hawaii and Ireland? What's going on there? Is there some kind of, I don't know, Atlantean, Lemurian, all these flavors kind of come into the equation, and they definitely, they're in Ireland as well, and they're definitely in Hawaii. What's going on there?
Yeah, I think the Pleiadians have something to do with it.
You want to blame those fellas?
Those rascals, man, they just play all over the world. Yeah, dropping seeds here and there. Yeah. I'm not really sure as far as the technical sort of put my finger on it, Paul. It's interesting though, because when I think of Ireland, it's not coming from my programming from television or movies. It's coming from inside. There's a very deep mystical legendary history that Ireland is steeped in, and also Kauai, the island that I'm from. So there is a rainbow connection, not only with Ireland, but the woman who would have been the next monarch of Hawaii, Princess Ka'iolani, she had a Scottish father and a Hawaiian mother. And there's a movie out, fantastic movie about her life. But there is also a connection with, Vancouver, BC. There's a connection with Mount Shasta, California. I find these connections where you could call it Lemurian if you like, whatever that means to you. But if you look at the word La More-Rien, the middle part of the word is MU. And that describes the Mu people, which are the legendary small people from Hawaii who built all the fish ponds for the kings. And they came from the Pleiades. They came with skills about how energy interacts, and they could do things that we wish we could do with their mind and in manifestation.
which we are evolving, I feel, into now. You know, there's definitely a lot of changes happening on the planet. But Wayne, you're coming to Ireland, right? And you're coming. The reason you're coming is because a lady, Susanna, who I know as well. She's a Lomi Lomi practitioner here in Ireland,
Mhm.
and she was at one of your workshops. Tell people how the trip to Ireland came together and what people can expect, what you're planning to do when you get here. What's the
Mm.
plan?
Well, I've written this book. It's kind of a taster book on Hawaiian healing, and it has 4 different lineages of Lomi Lomi in it. And Susanna came to study with me in Glastonbury, which is, I think, probably the most magical little town in the UK. And after her experience, or during her experience, she was feeling a pull to bring me to Ireland. And part of the Hawaiian culture, which has spread through Europe, is forgiveness technology. It's what I call it. In Hawaiian terms, it's Hooponopono, which means to make right, to make more right what is right. It's a conflict resolution type process. So I had 3 new books since that other book, this one being Reclaiming Your Original Innocence. It's a trilogy, and this book is the only one I published so far. I want to leave it out for a while before the other 2 come along. But what we're bringing to Ireland is the foundation of self-responsibility, Ho'oponopono. Now, the Hawaiians had this form of cleaning and clearing their consciousness before going to bed at night. And the traditional Ho'oponopono, all the generations, possibly 4 at least, would gather in the family room every night before bed, and they would share any grievances they had with other family members, or with life itself, or with themselves. And they would be cleared, their consciousness would be cleared through the process of Ho'oponopono before going to sleep and having a nice clean dream time and waking up with a new day. So in the 80s, this woman named Morna Simeona, she's a physician and healer and kahuna, she was the one teaching and facilitating these circles. And she saw that people were coming from everywhere in the world, marrying the Hawaiians and taking them home. And she was really concerned that this process would not go with them, because it's always done traditionally in a circle, with the family. So she prayed, and she got this download of how to internalize the Ho'oponopono system so you could do it alone and accomplish the same, if not a better effect with your family members, your loved ones, your relationship to life. And she called it self-identity Ho'oponopono. She started teaching it in the 80s, so the ones leaving Hawaii could carry it with them and do it wherever they lived. That's what I'm bringing to Ireland. And I have relanguaged it myself to sort of simplify it for a wider audience, like reclaiming original innocence is the outcome of cleaning and clearing any guilt, shame, resentment, anger, depression that you may be carrying inside, using aloha light, the waterfall of aloha, descending through your 8th chakra into your heart, into your belly, into your body as you breathe it in, and you welcome those feelings of downward spiral into the light, and they get lifted out of your body. And the memory that was causing it, all the charge in that memory dissolves. We're calling it Hawaiian Healing Weekend. We didn't want to scare people. The original name was Hawaiian Healing Intensive.
Okay. So, the prayer, the Lomi Lomi prayer is, and it
Yes.
can be said, I believe it can be said in many different ways. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I love you,
Yes.
please forgive you. Thank you, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It
Mm,
doesn't really matter, I believe, on the way you flow. But
mm,
I suppose it's been brought to the West before with Dr. Yu Len in a big way, and
mm,
Joe Vitale. And the question I wanted to ask you was that it's a very sacred practice. When you go to Hawaii, it's quite a deep practice. Like there's a lot of it. I'm sure when you do it here, there's going to be quite a ritual around it. So
mm.
in the West, there's a tendency to try and grab things quickly and to try and work through things quite fast. Oh, can I do this on my way to the office? So it's like, can those two worlds meet in the middle a bit, or do you feel that it needs to be kept where it is in a sacred place? Or do
Yeah,
you feel, yeah, okay, man, you're on your way to the office, and if you say that prayer, it is a beautiful thing to say. What's your
mm,
thoughts around that?
yeah. Paul, that's the most perfect question I've ever been asked.
Wow, okay.
Wow, you must have had some practice here. Okay, yeah. All applications. See, the seventh principle in Huna, the corollary is what works is what's true. So, whatever application you apply sincerely in a way that is authentic is going to have an effect on your life. Now, having said that, because I don't want to discourage anybody from just, taking out the garbage and going, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, over and over again, or doing the dishes or taking a shower, because all of it can contribute to the clearing of consciousness. And that's just the way we're formed. When we say a mantra over and over again, even if we don't believe in it, it numbs the mind from fear. And so it can have an effect even by itself. In the Course in Miracles, in the very beginning of the workbook, Jesus says, hey, you don't have to believe a word of this. Just do it every day and check it out. And so I hope that answers your question about the shallow application of it. As long as you do it sincerely and authentically with the correct intent, it's going to have an effect. And the reason I wrote these books and the reason I'm teaching these weekend courses is to give people access to an extremely deep application of how to use those lines like psychic surgery.
I just got a download there as well as you were speaking. I'm like, so the answer I feel you've given me is, go and do some kind of deep practice and really connect with this prayer. Spend a weekend. I know that might sound like a short space of time, but go and do, not necessarily your course, but anyone's course. Go and get deep into it and connect with it and get to know it, and then you have a relationship with it. And as you're going and emptying the garbage, and as you're going through your daily life, you've already established this connection. If you like, you've got this kind of internet plug-in, and the prayer is with you wherever you go. But it's really good to do the deep work initially. But if you can't do that, what you're saying is, just practice it with reverence, and it'll, yeah, if it works for you, it works for you. Yeah. I mean, that will help people in the West, because the West get a hard time, it's like everybody wants something quick, but we really live in a tricky world, because survival is the biggest instinct most people have. So they're trying to practice their spirituality around that survival instinct, and it's tricky.
Absolutely. And, you set up the next application of where this interview needs to go beautifully, because if we're doing it in that way, as a mantra, just sort of skimming on the top of our life experience, that's beautiful. It's a very good first step. And there are millions, if not hundreds of millions of people doing that, perhaps even billions. The book Zero Limits went viral in several languages and sold millions and millions of copies, and they got passed on, to more and more people. So nobody knows how many people have read that miracle story. But what I found, Paul, was it wasn't clear enough for me to go deeper, because that's the kind of teacher I am. I want to go to the source of whatever is working for me and find the root of what it is and then share that with people. So a good metaphor to use in regards to what we're speaking about is all of our experience here in life. And on level one reality, which is everything is separate, it has gravity, as our emotions have gravity as well. And so, thank God, when we leave the body and the body stays on earth, we don't take those emotions with us. They go back to the earth. So this is a very sort of horizontal experience full of gravity. That's why the emotions seem to pull us down. Like depression, for example, is one of the most widespread ones after COVID. My whole practice in presenting the Hooponopono self-responsibility work is in going vertical and becoming that vertical shaft of aloha light, descending from your higher self, your I am presence, your God self, your angelic self, your divinity, whatever you want to call it. You make this your best friend and confidant to witness your life through you're using your breath in this connection. It's a daily practice. It takes a lot of practice, to be honest, because we're talking about plugging into something that doesn't come through the senses at all. You won't be able to feel it or see it or smell it or touch it or hear it. So you have to get very still and actually to befriend it and have it breathe into you so that you can feel it in your cells as light or love, synonymous. And once this vertical connection is sound, then those lines, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, they have an entirely different application vertically, which involves no one else on level one reality. We're playing on level 3 and 4. Level 1, everything is separate. Level 2, everything is connected. Level 3, everything is a reflection of what's in our mind. And level 4, there is no separation at all. We are everything and everything is us. So when you go vertical with self-responsibility, Hooponopono, you're invoking a shaft of light from your I am presence to deal with those emotions, to transmute them, to melt them, to have them accepted so fully in a bed of love that the stones in your bowl of light, which are blocking the light, get removed and returned to the earth. So that's what I'll be teaching, and it's what I've been teaching. And just on a side note, I mentioned Morna Simeona. She's the matriarch of what I'm sharing. Hawaiian minister. She spent the last years of her life here in Germany sharing this knowledge and passed away in 92 in Munich, teaching a few miles from where I am right now. So I kind of feel like I'm picking up the ball with her, and I feel her support in sharing this with people. And there's some good internet stuff about her, but she's mostly kept behind the scenes with Dr. Hugh Land and as an honorable mention, because she was his teacher.
No, that's when you described the vertical, it was beautiful, because I remember once actually, and it reflects back to Glastonbury, I had a guy, a crop circle expert, doing an event with me, and he was asked about time, past, present, and future. And he said the easiest, quickest way to describe time is that it's vertical. It's not horizontal. It's not horizontal. It's not on a line like that. It's on a line like that, and it's all coming through you in the one moment. And that's the way. It's really beautiful what you said there. That's really. Thank you for I mean, I'm just blown away by the wisdom coming out of some of the people I talk to, and particularly I've been connecting to Hawaii lately. I've got to go there someday. It sounds like a magical place. I'd like to ask you about Hawaii itself and just the whole aloha and of course Lomi Lomi, the practice of Lomi Lomi. And I'll just give you I can't even call it a massage because it just sounds ridiculous. But I had a Lomi Lomi experience with Louise Clue, who practices here in Kerry, and just the amount of care and love that went into the practice made me feel like it just made me feel really, really loved. It moved me a lot, and you can say that to people and you got to go have the experience, it's a very hard one to describe. But how do you approach describing Lomi Lomi? Like what does that mean to you? I'm landing it with you, Wayne.
Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been answering that question for a very long time. And my latest response is, it's like a near-death experience.
You don't mess around, man. Wow.
No, because when you are connected so thoroughly with your divinity through the channels of yourself and all your energy being opened, and with a divine practitioner who knows the secrets and knows how to breathe aloha in and through all your portals, you're going to heaven, buddy, and with your body. And Lomi Lomi tends to be, it's such a deeply reverent spiritual experience. Like you said, it is absolutely ineffable. And that's what got me in the game, was the fact that we could actually make changes. We can actually evolve our soul through this practice. The soul comes to earth to evolve through the body and through the senses. The soul knows itself as immortal. So that's why we take a lot of chances and risks and make so many mistakes, because we have to do that to evolve, right? And we carry a lot of stuff from our ancestors in our blood, in our bones, And Lomi Lomi, it was designed as an alignment for all aspects, primarily the main three: father, mother, child as one, is the way Morna Simeona would say it. Father, mother, child as one, right? New Age would be spirit, mind, body, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Every spiritual path has a trinity. So Lomi Lomi, it tends to distract the busy mind through breath, touching, communion with light, love into the cells and the portals, so that the mind forgets, for the moment, time and the material world, and drifts into infinity to touch the origin of self. And that doesn't happen every time. It's not a guarantee, but that is absolutely the intention when I do my practice on people, to have them touch something that cannot be described in words, that is the source of their being. And that will turn a few notches on the maturity of their emotional body and their soul's journey through this lifetime.
Have you yourself experienced, obviously you have, but is there a particular experience with a practitioner that just stays with you?
Ironically enough, it's not the one from the master.
Okay.
The kahuna that brought this work into the world and revolutionized the idea of massage, from being a feel-good experience to being a teleportation, a transformation of your entire experience of being existence here on earth. So when people come up, and they say, gosh, I hear you're a really good massage therapist. And I just laugh and shake my head. No, 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 no. No, I'm an urban shaman. And if you would like to experience massage as one of the modules that I use in self-healing, I'd be glad to help you on that journey. So we're constantly giving people back their power to change their life. It's not something we fix. When we go into a healing session with someone, it's a communion with divinity through the whole complex of human existence.
We'll put in the comments, anybody who's watching this, where you can find out about when Wayne is coming and all that. There's a website, I presume, Wayne. Is there for people to check?
Absolutely, yeah. It's really simple, shamanicbodywork.com.
Shamanicbodywork.com. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So we'll obviously post that in the comments so you can just click straight through. Wayne, before we go, a couple more things. Shamanism. Okay, so that's another strand of this work.
Mm-hmm.
How do you weave all of that in? We said the umbrella was aloha.
Mm-hmm.
We've covered the sacred prayer, and we've covered Lomi Lomi. So let's bring in shamanism.
Okay. Another good question. It's a Siberian word, shamanic, shaman. And in Hawaiian, the translation would most likely be kupua. Kupua, kupua, which is like Maui, the demigod, the legend, who could perform all kinds of miracles at his will. Kind of like the Hawaiian version of a superhero, right? But kupua, yeah, it best describes in Hawaiian what the word shaman means. And really, Paul, all it is the ability to connect really deeply with nature, with all the natural elements and kingdoms that are formed by the elements. And in that connection, there's a communion on a soul level that you can influence the energy to respond in a certain way using aloha, using your desire to bring more love from heaven to earth. That's the most simple description I think I could give.
Mm. It's beautiful. And Wayne, I know you do some music.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you do a song, or am I putting you on the spot there?
That's where my heart's at. I would love to do a song, but I'm not sure if this microphone will carry.
Yeah, how the sound will be. Yeah. Let's try it, see how we go.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I tried to play a song last night to my class, and the guitar did not come through. Can you hear that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Well, maybe this mic is working. That would be nice. Okay. This is a song, probably one of the most famous songs in all of Hawaiian music. It's a song about the lehua flower, the blossom of the lehua flower grown on the ohia tree. And it looks kind of like a bottle brush. And it comes primarily in this color here, this really bright red color. And every now and then you'll see them in yellow. But the song is about it falling from its branch into the river and floating all the way to the ocean. Written by a great hula. He has hula troops on Maui, Oahu, and Kauai for many, many decades, and he writes all of his own hulas as songs. His name is Kawaya Kapua Kalani Hewitt. Ke hola kaua hey, yeah. Hey, yeah. Helele ipua ikekai ika hey, yeah. Hey, kubala kapu ikekai hey, hey, yeah. Hey, Emelena, hey,
Hey, Wayne.
yes,
The guitar is cutting in and out on it a bit. So
that's
I
what
didn't
I
want you,
thought.
yeah, I didn't want you to keep going there. And then you say to me afterwards, oh God, Paul, you never told me. But your
Okay.
voice is so rich and it's beautiful,
It might have been a better try with the ukulele, but nevertheless, that's why I set up this expensive system that's not quite plugged in. But
It's
thanks for
yeah, I
that.
was gonna let you go, and I thought, no, he's gonna say to me afterwards, hey man, you tell me about that. Because the guitar,
Oh,
you can hear it and then it kind of cuts out, it kind of comes in and out. And it
because
sounds like
through the computer mic, it's fighting against the voice.
okay.
It's a frequency thing.
Yeah,
So I wished I had figured out how to make this work, because that's why I put it up. I was hoping to play a song.
yeah.
So
Well,
I play a lot of Hawaiian, traditional Hawaiian, all the way back from the 70s to more of the modern stuff in the 90s. The hits that really Hawaiians just, have been singing forever. That song I was singing, it's been covered over 20 times by Hawaiians.
wow, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You could sense the beauty of it though. So we got something there.
Okay, good.
When you come and do the workshop, what's the time of the year that you're coming again? Just remind us again. It's November, I think, is it?
It is. It's November 11 and 12. It's a weekend. It's my birthday week. I was going to head home because I finished in Glastonbury on the 4th of November. My birthday is on the 7th. But Susanna said, hey, why don't you come for the end of the tour? We'll have plenty of time to get the word out, let people know what's going on. I said, oh, okay, that means I spend my birthday in Ireland? That sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, that is a lot of fun. What day is your actual birthday?
The 7th of November, 11/7.
The 7th of November. Cool. Okay.
Yeah,
And you're coming from Glastonbury. Okay, brilliant.
I am. I'm coming from Glastonbury with my whole temple entourage, my instruments. I'll be playing Over the Rainbow, ukulele
Oh
style.
yeah, famous one. Yeah.
That it is.
I was thinking of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I should have picked up. It might have worked better with
That's beautiful.
the computer. But nevertheless, it's going to be a very transformative experience. And Paul, I can already feel the souls that are going to be drawn to that weekend.
Yeah, sure.
It's
Well, I
going to
was
be
going to ask you what kind, I know that's kind of a strange question, but what kind of people? Yeah, I mean, it suits anybody to come and learn this wisdom, but who do you feel like you draw in? What sense do you get there? And I presume it's a two full days kind of thing, is it?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 full days, weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. People who are curious about the Aloha spirit as a way of communing within themselves, people who are curious about the flavors that come from Hawaii, people who are evolving spiritually and would like to not wake up in the morning and feel like they don't want to get out of bed for whatever reason that is. Something they have to face, someone they have to face, something they have to face, an obligation perhaps. We can clear those programs, we can clean them. And my objective is to have them return their running system to like, oh, I can't wait to get out of bed and practice Hooponopono, clear my day, my relationships, and spread the love around.
That's not, I think that might be everybody. Okay, we'll all go to this. We'll all go to this. And it's taking place in what part of Ireland?
In that church.
Oh, are you in the Irish Gospel Hall?
Yes.
Oh, cool. That's a buddy of mine, Noel, and he runs that. So he's based in Irish Town in Dublin. So you're in Dublin, which is great. That's a good catchment area.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah.
Okay.
And we're not only sharing Hooponopono. The second day is more after we clean the first day and clear the first day and plant the new running system. We offer that to you. The second day is more of creating and experiencing the clarity that you arrived at on Saturday. On Sunday, we do a process called La Lima, where you lay on a massage table, fully clothed, and 6 people lay their hands on you very gently, and they access the waterfall of aloha, of divinity, into their heart and out their hands, and pour that love into and through your body to your soul for up to 10 minutes. You're receiving and breathing this heavenly frequency from 6 people. So that goes on all morning. And then after lunch, I teach you a Hawaiian chant and how to manifest what you want to bring into your life. It's a manifestation ritual we call haipule, which means a prayer blessing. And the chant is Aumakua mai kapo waiola, ho'ikea mai keola. And then we take this seed that we've created through the ritual and we blow it into heaven. And all heaven breaks loose to bring us our heart's desire.
Wayne, it sounds like all these people are going to disappear. They're going to have to tell their families goodbye because they're going to ascend. They're going to ascend at the end of this weekend. You're going to be like, Wayne, where's my wife? We're fully insured. Okay, man, I love it. I really enjoyed that conversation. Thanks for joining me today. That was fab. I loved it. Thank you, man.
Sure. And if they want to hear more music, Paul, I have 7 albums, WaynePowellMusic.com.
Okay, so we have shamanicbodywork.com and WaynePowellMusic.com. And we're going to put them both in the comments there so everybody can.
And the Dublin experience is right on the homepage when they open shamanicbodywork.com. You just scroll down to November, and it's the last training before I go back to Hawaii.
If they want to book, they can book through Susanna as well, I presume, can they?
No, you have to go through the website.
Have to go through the website. Okay, shamanicbodywork.com.
And by the way, I will have 3 days open to do sessions before the weekend. People they would rather invest in having a personal experience with me instead of coming. We've got that aligned as well.
Oh, brilliant. So that's a Lomi Lomi kind of experience, is it?
Yeah. It involves Lomi Lomi, but it also has a Hooponopono aspect in it. Someone who would want more personal training than in a class, like the first hour and a half of their personal session, private session, would be what I'm teaching in the class. And we could address one issue that they want to really clean well on a one-to-one level, and then they get the massage.
Gotcha. Okay, you mean they get to kind of reconnect with the source of who they are?
Yes, and then we flush all the fluids in the body and send them home brand new.
Beautiful, beautiful. Wayne, anything before we go, anything you want to say finally to people before you leave today?
I want to say that it takes great courage to heal. And I want to let people know that it's worth it. It's worth it to take those first steps outside of your routine and get some assistance in realigning yourself with your primary, your primal divinity and innocence, so that you can live your life more freely and experience more peace and joy. So I encourage you to have the courage, step up to the plate, show up in spite of feeling self-conscious or shy, because we're all in the same canoe. Everyone has shadows and everyone has something to clear. When we do it together, Paul, it's so powerful in a circle. Because while they're telling their story, everyone in the circle is instructed to breathe the waterfall of aloha into their story so it can be flushed in the center of the circle.
Okay, beautiful. So thank you everybody for joining us today. As I said, please share this around. As you go about your day today, think of something that you love in your life. It'll up your frequency straight away. And go and do something for somebody else, just for the fun of it. Just take the emphasis off yourself and say, okay, how can I help this other person? See what that does as well for your frequency. Okay. Go forward and multiply the love, lads and lassies, and say goodbye to Wayne Powell. He's coming in November, and I think I might go myself. It just sounds amazing. So let's go, everybody. Let's swamp him with love when he gets here.
Oh, Paul, God bless you, man. You're doing some great work. And you're right. Whatever feeling they're carrying, if they go help someone else, it will shift.
Exactly. And as we go, Wayne, just give us the prayer before we go, that beautiful prayer.
All right. Aumakua, aloha mahalo, ancestors, great spirit, aloha light, hiki mai, hele mai, come quickly, help us heal. Aloha mai, hiki mai, hele mai, aloha mai, hiki mai, hele mai, aloha mai, hiki mai, hele mai. I feel the ripples in Ireland already. Father, Mother God, thank you for this interview and for this transmission and for all the souls that it will touch and bring to the circle. Amama ua noa, lele valia kuala. I send this prayer off with love and light, and so it is. Hey, Powell.
Boom. We did it. Okay, folks. Adios.